Hey, Fred Minnick here, and I've got a list for you. 4 bourbons under $40 for your holiday shopping needs. Here we go. Giddy up. Now, full transparency, this list was originally 5, but then I started to struggle to find 5 bourbons that were under $40 that were worth a damn. And here's the thing about the $40 price point is that you used to find a lot of stuff under 40 bucks. Now what's happening is that stuff that was 30 is now like 42. So there is a large amount of bourbon that's between 40 and 50 bucks, but I wanted to keep this list to under 40. And why? That's just like one of those price points when you're buying a gift for somebody that you just kind of like, people are like 50s, like, ooh, I don't like them that much. Or 50s, like, that's an investment. I mean, you got to love them to spend 50 bucks. So 40 though, that $20 to $40 range is really where most people will feel comfortable buying gifts. According to a survey I did, not really. But anyway, there's also a lot of bourbon that you can find that's under $30. Things like Evan Williams Bottled and Bond, some of the Four Roses Yellow Label, things like that you can find, and those are nice. But these are 4 bourbons that you can buy for a bourbon lover, and even if they have them, they're going to be happy that you got it for them, with the exception of maybe one, and I'll tell you why. It's just because people kind of hate that distillery sometimes. But anyway, here we go. Here are the 4 that I think will be a great gift for any bourbon lover. At number 4, good old standard Wild Turkey 101. You can crack this open, sip it all day long by a campfire, put it in cocktails, baste your turkey with it, next year for Thanksgiving. I mean, there's all kinds of things that you can do with Wild Turkey 101. I did a blind tasting with this up against some of the Pappy Van Winkles and some of the William LaRue Wellers, and it took second. So it definitely defeated some of those that people spend a lot more money than they should. Wild Turkey 101 is a brand that is always going to be in a bourbon lover's cabinet. Somebody who loves bourbon, it's almost like a rite of passage. If you don't like Wild Turkey 101, it's like, there's a certain set of people who will find out and they will kick you out of the bourbon community. Just kidding, that's not going to happen. But this is going to be a bottle that everybody likes most of the time. Most people like it. Number 3, Early Times Bottled and Bond. Now, this has not been appearing on my list lately for value because it was recently acquired in the last couple of years. It was acquired by another company. So the company that owns Jack Daniel's, Brown-Forman, this was their longtime bourbon. And they sold it to a company called Sazerac. And Sazerac, which Pappy Van Winkle, Buffalo Trace Antique Collection, I was a little nervous about what might happen to this brand. Well, we have seen this out in the wild enough for me to feel comfortable about it, and it's staying on the shelf under the $40 price point, and it is as every bit as good, if not better, than when it was at Brown-Forman. So that's likely because they're still using those same stocks, but at the end of the day, you can find it out there, and this is one where I would rush to the store now and get it because I don't know what is going to happen in the next couple of years. But like I said, it's available, it's out there. It won a blind tasting with me and my good buddies at Bourbon Pursuit. It is one of those that is in the conversation for value all the time. Early Times Bottled and Bond is a bourbon geek's bourbon. So go check it out. Go check out Early Times Bottled and Bond. Now, remember I said that there's a brand that you may get this for somebody who is a bourbon lover and they're going to be like, bah! Well, this is it. And that's Buffalo Trace. Because this is, by the way, this is very good bourbon for the dollar. It's great value. You can find it under 40 bucks in most markets. But what this often represents is the bourbons that people cannot find. I'm talking about George T. Stagg, Pappy Van Winkle, William LaRue Weller, Weller Full Proof, things like that. And people just, they get pretty upset when they can't find their bourbon. I mean, we're kind of getting to that point now where people are calling cops on people while they're standing in line. It's getting pretty ridiculous, but it's not quite to the 1980s Cabbage Patch level, where moms and dads were fighting in Toys R Us over a Cabbage Patch doll. I don't think it's quite that bad, but we're getting close. We're getting close. But in all seriousness, this right here, you tuck this in underneath the Christmas tree, or wrap it up, give it as a gift, whatever holiday you celebrate, and you're usually going to find a smile because it's really, really good bourbon, and it's priced exceptionally well. Like, depending on your market, you may even find it for under $30. So this is a fantastic value. And if the people who own this whiskey turned around and bottled it in a fancier package, and they could probably charge a lot more for it. So Buffalo Trace. Now, my number one bourbon for you to buy someone as a gift, and it's under $40. This outtastes the majority of the $200 bourbons on the market that are sourced from other distilleries. It won the San Francisco World Spirits Competition in 2015, and you can find it everywhere. I mean, everywhere. You can go into Target, Kroger, Total Wine, your local liquor store. There is no shortage of this bourbon. This bourbon is everywhere, and when you give someone a bottle of Knob Creek 9-year-old, you're basically telling them that bourbon. And this is a bourbon that has one of the most complicated flavor profiles for the money. It's got an age statement of 9 years old on it. You just do not beat this for the money. In fact, this is what I sip in my home on a very regular basis, along with probably about 200 other things. But that's a whole nother story. This is something that I buy frequently, and I do give it as gifts. And the thing about true bourbon lovers is you don't have to spend a lot of money to make us happy. I get more excited when my family buys me a bottle of Wild Turkey 101 or a Knob Creek 9-year-old than when they spend $200-300 on a bottle, which they have done as presents. And I kind of tell them, like, you really shouldn't do that. We should put money towards something else. But I get more excited about that because that means they spent the time to really understand me and what I like, and didn't go too overboard on it. So this bottle right here, no matter at what level a person is in their whiskey loving career, Knob Creek 9-year-old will make him very happy. So there you go. That's 4 bottles for this holiday season under $40. And a big thank you to Billy Gibbons for giving me a license to play his Christmas music. And if you haven't had a chance yet to go listen to Billy Gibbons' Christmas music, I got the link to it in the description. Make sure you are checking that out. I will have it playing for all of my videos that are created in December of 2021, as well as my podcast, The Fred Minnick Show. So, of course, Billy Gibbons with ZZ Top has his own bourbon out now, so check that out as well. He's did a collaboration with Balcones in Texas. But I appreciate you all tuning in. Good luck to everybody out there in your bourbon hunting journey for your loved ones. And just remember that as you're doing so, there's so many good things. You don't have to spend a lot of money to find good bourbon. Well, the prices are elevating. These two right here, they're still available and affordable. Cheers, everybody. Be safe out there. Remember, vodka sucks unless it's being used for hand sanitizer.